guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today is day 4 of Ethany's hashtag 31 Days of Tarot, and today's question asks us what our top 5 decks, working decks were for the years of 2010 through 2019. Let me just double check. Yes, 5 most used decks. Okay, so I take that to be tarot or oracle, so I have a mixture of tarot and oracle cards. There are other decks that I did use during that time frame that I used quite a bit, but I just narrowed it down for the 5 because they're asking for 5, so I got 5. Okay, so the very first deck I mentioned in the last video for my top oracle decks, but it literally was one of my top decks that I've used for the past 10 years. So, I mean, I don't think I've used it for all 10 years, but I've used it for a good long time, and it falls within that range of 2010 to 2019. So I said that this was the Deck of Color by the Color Gypsy. Like I said, I use it for reading for others, reading for clients, reading for myself. Not so much daily draws anymore, but more in-depth reading, looking into situations, doing my monthly guidance readings for myself and for others. It's just an all-around great deck. Wally showed up once again because Wally loves to be in these videos. So he's got his little toy. Like I said, we take the little bag candles and we pull them off gift bags, and then we tie it in a little circle because the Puma likes to play fetch. So yeah, this deck is fantastic. So that's definitely a workhorse. There is a deck, it was my very first tarot deck, and that was the Enchanted Tarot. I have the newer version of it, but I gifted my older version because I didn't connect with it all that well. The Osho Zen was my second deck, and that was the deck that I kind of really got into tarot afterwards. But I would say, I mean, I had that other deck for a good long time. I think I got it in the year 2000. And I used other decks because I didn't have a tarot deck yet, so I kind of like utilized playing cards and things like that. You know, that's kind of what I used to read with. But anyway, for going between 2010 to 2019, my other deck, most used deck, is the Housewives Tarot. Had this for a really long time, and it's one that I still turn to. It just has that, you know, that feel like you've known somebody for a really long time, and you just can pick it up and read it, no problem. Let me see if it says who this is by. Quirk Books. I know that the author's in here. You know what? Let me try to find the author. Okay, Paul Keppel and Jude Buffum. All right, got it. I just like to mention who these are by. There's obviously a lot of chipping on the edges of this deck because it's gotten a lot of use. I've had it for a while. People that I read for, hold on, there we go. People that I read for really seem to connect with this deck as well. I think that it's disarming. You know, since it's cheeky, it's kitschy, it's fun. People aren't so taken aback by some of the images, let's say by like the Rider-Waite-Smith or, you know, other reading systems where it seems so dramatic, so intense, and people are like, ooh, it's so esoteric. Where they look at this one and like, okay, that's fun. And now they're a little more open to the, you know, the messages. So, I mean, are you gonna get offended by Mrs. Butterworth? She's delicious. She's great on pancakes. Or a turkey. So yeah, or Scrubbo soap pads. So anyway, definitely a deck that I use quite a bit. Wow, I didn't realize like how much chipping was on here. But you know what? It just means it's loved, and it's full of my energy, and it's full of the energy of readings past, and that's okay. All right, so my third deck of my top 5 used decks from 2010 to 2019 is my Nature's Pharmacy deck. So this technically isn't an oracle deck or a tarot deck. It's just meant to give you information on different herbs You know, so you have the kind of old school drawing of them, and I know it says it comes from the New York Botanical Garden. So there you go. Some just like to fall out because that's how it goes. Yeah, but it has all these wonderful images, and then on the back it tells you kind of like where they're from. It gives you a little bit about the plant. It gives you the botanical name, the plant family, its origin, like how you might be able to use it. So for me, how I use it for my teas, because I love to make salves, I love to make teas. Mostly I use it for tea. So whenever I feel like something coming on, or I'm feeling a little sad about something, or I have a lot of energy and I need to simmer down just a bit, I'll pull however many cards I feel called to, like however many herbs I feel like I might need. So it might be like 2 herbs, might be 4, you know, and then I'll look, and usually on the back how it describes how the herb used to be used corresponds with what I'm needing at that time in my tea. So me and this deck are homies. And this is what I use to make tea, and I've been using this for quite some time. I remember it was crazy expensive on Amazon at one point, and I was like, homegirl ain't paying that. And then one day it was like on sale for, like, it dropped from $50 to like $16, and I was like, oh yes please. Okay, deck number 4 of top 5 most used decks between 2010-2015 is the Lateral Erotique. And yes, there is nudity, so if you are offended, look away, but it's not meant to be lewd or offensive. Here are the backs. And it was interesting because I saw this lady's picture when I went to the actual Birdcage Theater in Tombstone, Arizona. And it says who it is and everything like that, so I thought that was kind of cool. So with this deck you have either like the suit or the major arcana or whatever it is written up at the top, and then down the bottom you actually have a little phrase. And sometimes they don't quite sync up with like the Rider-Waite, so it's kind of like its own thing, sorta, which I think is cool, and I think the image definitely goes along with, you know, what it says down here, and kind of like its own little system, which I think is great. I don't know, I just felt like a kinship with the girls in these cards. I just feel, I don't know what it is. You know, sometimes you're just connected to a deck and you don't know why. And you're just like, I don't know, I just really get along with it. It's just really got a good energy. Well, that is this deck. I don't bust it out too often for client readings. Actually, I just more keep it for myself and friends, because you never know who, like, you know, if you've never met somebody before, you don't know if some people are a little squeamish about nudity, sexuality, and things like that. But if it's somebody I'm reading for and I know exactly if they would be okay with it, then of course I'm gonna read with it. Okay. My final, ho ho ho. We've gotten to the last one. It is my final deck of my top 5 used decks of 2010 to 2019. And that is the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards by Rochelle Charman. Yay! Yeah, if I need some clarity and I just, like, tell it to me straight, what's going on, that's when I bust out this deck. So here are the backs. Like I said, I love the crystal decks. The deck that I used a lot for the it was my other crystal affirmation cards that I used a lot for 2019, but if we're talking like over a long span of time, this is my most used crystal deck. I don't know, it's just so eerie how close the messages relate to the question that is being asked, and you're like, I would think would make even the most skeptical of persons go, things that make you go, but yeah, another really good cardstocky friend of mine. So yeah, those were my top 5 most used decks for the years of 2010 to 2019. All right, and Wally again came onto my lap to join us for this particular video. So anyway, if you guys dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. And if you want to throw a little kitten kibble money my way, then think about joining that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot. And I will catch you spiritual homies tomorrow for day 5. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.